Week 9 of the fantasy football season. Here's a few running backs. I have his sleeper options this week. The first back, Samaje Perine of the Cincinnati Bengals. He's out there in tons of fantasy leagues right now in 93%, and his work's been going up over the last couple weeks. Is Samaje Perine, even though Chase Brown the last couple weeks he's played better than he has all season long. But that's the Joe Flacco, obviously, impact with him in the lineup. This whole offense has gotten back to levels they were obviously last season at times. Week 6 of Green Bay for Perine, 6 carries, 16 yards, 2 catches, 16 yards. Week 7 versus the Steelers, 7 carries, 31 yards. And last week, in a high-scoring loss versus the Jets, 9 carries, 94 yards, a touchdown, a catch, 6 yards. So his work's gone up over the last few weeks. This week, a good matchup on paper versus the Bears that give up the 10th most fantasy points to running backs on the season. But like I said, Chase Brown's still the running back over there in Cincinnati, but Perine, the last 3 weeks, his work's gone up, like I said, and he's getting good opportunity producing for this Bengal team. Next running back, Rashard Smith of the Kansas City Chiefs. So it looks like, at least for this week, we're not going to see Isaiah Pacheco in the lineup. He's week to week with an MCL sprain. He missed practice so far this week. Here is Isaiah Pacheco. And Rashard Smith, he's working in there, here and there for this Kansas City Chiefs team, where he's the third back, but he's the better passing downs back than Pacheco and Hunt, in my opinion. And he was a wide receiver in college. So the last few weeks for Smith, Week 6 versus Detroit, 3 carries, 21 yards. Week 7 versus Vegas, got a good workload in the second half of that game, where it was a blowout victory, 14 carries, 39 yards, 5 catches, 42 yards, 5 targets. And Week 8 versus the Commanders, only 3 carries, 8 yards. But this week, a matchup in Buffalo, give up the 6th most fantasy points to running backs on the season. I expect this is going to be a high-scoring game between these two AFC rivals, where they've seen a lot of each other, obviously, over the last 5 seasons, with playoffs and regular season. And like I said, with Pacheco most likely out with the MCL sprain, I don't think Hunt's going to go out there and get 20, 25 touches in this one. So Smith could be a factor, especially on third downs, and obviously in PPR leagues. And the final running back, Blake Corum of the Los Angeles Rams. So Blake Corum, one of the better handcuff backs in the league. He's out there right now in tons of fantasy leagues as well. In 92% is Blake Corum. And the last couple weeks, the work's gone up a little bit for Corum. I know I had a fumble issue early in the season where you didn't see a lot of touches, but of late now, it's gone up. Week 6 at Baltimore, 5 carries, 23 yards. And Week 7 versus the Jaguars in England, I know it was garbage time in the second half of that game. He got work, 12 carries, 37 yards. A catch, 6 yards on a target. So Week 9, a good matchup versus Saints, a defense that can't stop pretty much anyone. They give up the 15th most fantasy points to running backs on the season. And I think Blake Corum, he's going to get work in this game, even if it's in the second half. If obviously Los Angeles is up a few scores and they put in some of their backups. So like I said, Corum, one of the better handcuff running backs in the league, but also the way this game could go, I think we're going to see more opportunity for him. And also as well, he's had some goal line chances a decent amount of times this season. So that's a few running backs I have as sleepers for Week 9 of the fantasy football season.